time he said, just like this, "Dad, I know what you like." So Herb, that was so strong that that day I started to read the book Lone Survivor. I couldn't stop, and I think I finished reading the book. I'm glad to see people shaking their head. I think I finished reading the book at 3 a.m.
Yep.
I simply couldn't put it down. I couldn't believe that there were young men like Danny Dietz. I couldn't believe that there were 4 young men, all under 30, who were doing what they're capable of doing on that day, June 28th, 2005. On that day, Danny Dietz was 25 years old. If you didn't read the book, or if you didn't see the movie, there were 4 Navy SEALs, June 28th of '05. It's called Operation Red Wings, and their task that day was reconnaissance and surveillance. They were watching a target. Their job was to find out, is the number 2 guy in the Taliban down in that village? And if he is, then they were gonna radio back, and a quick reaction force was gonna come in and do what they do, and that was the plan. And as those of you who know that have read the book, they were walked up on by goat herders, and that's called a soft compromise. And what happened after that, according to the different accounts and different books and news media, was essentially 4 Navy SEALs were forced into a firefight with something approximately 140 Taliban. At the end of that day, there were 3 dead Navy SEAls. Danny Dietz was the first to die. Next was Mike Murphy, Lieutenant Mike Murphy, and then Matt Axelson. Marcus Luttrell was the survivor, and he wrote the book, and I'm thankful to God that he lived so that we could, Meredith, so that we would know the truth of this incredible story. So I read the book, and I don't mind telling you, I'm sorry, my dad was in the Army, and I'm 59 years old, so Vietnam, I was 13 years old when Vietnam was over. I'm wondering how many people out here, like me, you had a father that if Patton or Tora 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 or something was on TV, remember when there were 3 channels of TV? You knew what you were going to watch that night. I think you and I talked about that at your dad's birthday party. So that was the house that I was raised in. And so I don't mind telling you that if you haven't read the book, I recommend you get it and skip the Kleenex. Just get a good dish towel. And because it's an incredible story, Father Bob, as you know. So in the summer of '08, and the book came out in '07. In the summer of '08, my wife and I did our normal summer thing, as a lot of people in Florida do. If you're a Floridian in the summer, you either go to North Carolina or Colorado, and we're the Colorado people. So we went to Rocky Mountain National Park to get out of the humidity and hike in Estes Park, which is our normal every summer thing to do. So when our plane landed, I had a secret plan, and I sheepishly asked my wife, Kim, if she minded if we stopped by Fort Logan National Cemetery and put some flowers on this SEAL's grave that I had read about. And she smiled because she had listened to, in my world, it was a big deal. We had all read the book and we talked about it a lot. So she smiled and said, absolutely. So we went to Safeway. Safeway is Publix here, and bought a handful of flowers, and we went to the cemetery. So we went to Fort Logan, we found his grave, and Kim took a picture of Danny's marker with that little yellow bouquet. And we shared it on Facebook. So if you're 59 years old, if you're old like me and you don't think social media works, I'm going to tell you a story. That picture began to be shared all over Facebook, and someone shared that picture into Cindy's Facebook page, knowing that, wow, somebody was at Danny's grave and that'll make her happy. And so Kim and I left. It's about an hour from the cemetery to Rocky Mountain National Park, and we were driving to the Rockies, and all of a sudden on my iPhone came a messenger, and Cindy had sent me a messenger saying thank you for doing that for my son. And that's how we met. And so Kim and Cindy were messengering while we were driving to the park, and essentially she invited us to dinner. She said, when your vacation's over, before you fly back home, let's have dinner, and we did. And so Kim and Cindy at dinner did what moms do. It really wasn't me and Cindy, it was my wife and Cindy. And they were talking about their kids and talking about Danny. And that's how we left. And that's how we met. And what came out of that dinner was I heard just, and you're going to hear from her in just a second. She has a soft and quiet voice, but she said, "I don't want my son to be forgotten." And somehow in there, I heard the words, love to be able to raise money for a scholarship so people won't forget him. So I'm happy to say that from that meeting forward, we've enjoyed working with Cindy and Meredith and Don. You guys are here. Are there other people here that work for the Danny Dietz Memorial Fund? And day in and day out. Day in and day out. Don, wave to the crowd. This is Cindy's better half, Don Marsh. Happy Veterans Day, Don. Not only is today Veterans Day, today is Cindy and Don's anniversary.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you all for being here today to listen to this Gold Star mom, and she'll be over at her booth when this is over. Without any further ado, I would like to introduce to you Gold Star mom, Navy SEAL Danny Dietz's mom, Cindy Dietz-Marsh.
Wow, what an honor to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to be speaking to you today. Such an important occasion. We're here today to honor our veterans, to remember their achievements, their courage, and their dedication, and to say thank you for your sacrifices. Thinking of the heroes who join us in this group today, and those who are here only in spirit, a person can't help but feel awed by the enormity of what we encounter. We stand in the midst of patriots and the family and friends of those who have nobly served. A veteran, whether active duty, retired, served one hitch, or reserve, is someone who, at one point in their life, wrote a blank check made payable to the government of the United States of America for an amount of up to and including their life. We have awarded medals to many soldiers, added their names to monuments and name buildings for them to honor them for their bravery. But nothing can ever replace the hole left behind by a fallen service member, and no number of medals and ribbons can comfort the ones left behind. My son, Navy SEAL Danny Dietz, was killed in action in Afghanistan. Our hometown of Littleton, Colorado, has been very supportive in honoring and remembering Danny. A portion of a busy highway has been renamed in his honor, as well as a small park with a bigger-than-life statue of Danny. There's a Texas roadhouse filled with some of his military memorabilia. We also, right here in Tampa Bay, at Veterans Funeral Care, we've donated Danny's uniform for people to go and see. There's been a military order, the Purple Heart chapter, and an American Legion out in Colorado named after Danny. 3 years ago, the Denver Area Recruiting Detachment named the swearing-in room of the Military Enlistment Processing Station as the Danny Dietz Room. Aboard the Michael Murphy, the rubber boats, I don't know what they're called, other than rubber boats. One is named after Danny, and very proud to be a plank owner myself. The big gun is called the Cindy gun. This year on Memorial Day proclamation, the mayor and city council of Austin, Texas, honored Danny with a special recognition. Our family immensely appreciates these honors, and we are so grateful that he will be remembered for generations to come. But they are not Danny, and there will never be anything to fill that void we feel in our hearts. Today, people throughout the country will gather together to remember, honor, and to pay gratitude to those who have served our country. Our gathering is just one small spark in the flame of pride that burns across the nation today and every day. It's not a lot, but it's one small way we can honor those who have made the ultimate sacrifice so that we can live in freedom. The veterans we honor today came from all walks of life, but they shared several fundamental qualities. They possessed courage, pride, determination, selflessness, dedication to duty, and integrity. All the qualities needed to serve a cause larger than oneself. Your presence here today and that of the people gathering across America is a tribute to our veterans and to their families. It is a way to remember. It is a way to say, we remember. From the soldiers who shivered and starved through the winter at Valley Forge, to the doughboys crouched in the muddy trenches of France, to the platoon who patrolled the hazy jungles of Vietnam, and the young men and women patrolling the mountains of Afghanistan. We remember and honor them all. Thank you for attending. God bless you, your families. God bless our troops, and God bless America. And I leave you with this, Isaiah 6:8. Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send, and who will go for us? And I said, here am I, send me. Thank you so much. God bless you all.